Good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's 10:30 on a Friday evening, which is a little bit later than I'd planned on starting. But I got distracted because the expansion, I think it is, for Path of Exile came out, was released, unlocked, whatever you want to call it, this evening. And I thought, for my sins, I would give it a go and see if it had made the early game of Path of Exile any more fun. And after, maybe an hour, I came to the conclusion that no, it's still as boring as ever. So I said screw it. I tried a second character, just in case. And once again, I don't know what it is about Path of Exile that I find so damn dull. I think it's something to do with how unnecessary a lot of their stupid, exciting, huge ascendancy tree is. In, for example, Final Fantasy X, the sphere grid, which is basically the same thing as the ascendancy leveling up system in Path of Exile, you knew that eventually you were going to be able to unlock everything, and that kept you going. You knew that you weren't going to lock yourself out of anything. You knew that you could always get everything eventually. Path of Exile, you can't do that. There's a cap. So basically, you can screw yourself over in Path of Exile. And because you cannot respec, you can't go back. You either need a bloody Excel spreadsheet to plan everything else, plan everything out in advance, or I don't know. I don't like the system, and I find it very off-putting. I like the sheer quantity of customization that you can do. Don't get me wrong, but I still find even now, oh dear, just run away from those. That there is a lot of stuff in there that's like plus 0.5% mana per second regen, or there's a lot of really dull upgrades. Now, a lot of people obviously compare Path of Exile to Diablo 3. Now, I've put many hundreds of hours into Diablo 3, even more with the the Necromancer pack having come out. And I would probably stream Diablo 3 more often if I could actually get it to stream properly, because for some reason it breaks my OBS. Still not entirely sure what that is. But with Diablo 3, the early game for Diablo 3, you level up reasonably quickly, which is nice. Some would say that's a good thing, some might say that's a bad thing. But more importantly, the reason I prefer Diablo 3 in terms of its character progression is that you can experiment. You're not locked into anything. I mean, I have not managed to get a character in Path of Exile over about level 50. Because it just gets boring. You're using the same... once you get to about level 30, you're basically locked in to a specific build, and you just go and you go and you go and you go, and there's no variety. And it's only if and when you get to much higher level and you're lucky enough to find this, that, or the other, that it gets more entertaining. And I just can't be bothered to play that long. So I keep going back to it, hoping that the early game experience will have been improved, and this brand new expansion that they've released just doesn't seem to have done a great deal for it. Which is not to say that I won't go back to it. But you kind of get the impression that if you don't want to completely waste your time, because the initial section of the game is slow, that you've got to plan out what you're going to do all in advance, and you're going to sort out your build, and you're going to watch a YouTube video. It's like, you don't have to do that with Diablo 3. You know, Diablo 3, you can just go in, you can play whatever you want, you can experiment with whatever you want, and it's all well and good. But Path of Exile is, it cuts down on the amount of experimentation, and I think that's a missed opportunity, and I think it's kind of boring. But that's just me. Plus, it doesn't look all that good anyway. Although, their new map system is quite nice. Map overlay. Anyway, enough of me ranting about that, because what we are going to... No, that's not the one. We've got a couple of dungeons that we haven't done. We're going to go and find the Sylph Elder in the Thousand Moors of Toto-Rak. Don't know what the queue time is going to be like. Might as well go and participate in this fate. While we wait. Trying to make sure that we don't accidentally aggro the Deep Void Dormices? Dormouse? That being said, they're actually not that high level compared to what we are. So, can we get this fight done before that queue timer runs out? Push it! Yes, we can. Ooh, challenge log entry faded to wonder almost complete. The Thousand Moors of Toto-Rak. Some delightful outfits. Good evening. Right, we're level 27, so we're not actually synced down all that much. One or more party members are new to this duty. Yes, one of them is me. And we at least get to use our entire aggro combo in this place, which is nice. We will at some point go and sort out Halatali as well. What do we actually got? We've got a Thaumaturge, who I think has gone AFK. He's up there. There he is. And we've got an archer. Is that an archer or bard? No, he's a bard. So, the initial stages of this dungeon are pretty straightforward. What we want to be doing is collecting these Magitech photo cells. And the point of these, understanding that, is to open up gates later on. Right, now there are two ways that you can go in this dungeon. And I have no particular preference. I don't think one is any better than the other. It might be. I mean, I've done this dungeon a fair few times. You'll notice that the mobs there got slept. At this level, black mages get the ability to area sleep things. Do white mages still get repose? I don't know. I shall have to check that later. There are also, in this dungeon, quite a few paths that go off the beaten track. And inexperienced parties, or people that just want to explore, will run around like complete nutters. Oh shit. Trying to find and kill everything. As I was saying in a previous video, realistically you don't want to be taking forever in these dungeons. You want to be completing them reasonably speedily, because otherwise that level 60, what was he? 66 bard is going to be bored out of his effing mind. Yeah, the majority of the XP you get from the bosses and for completion. So you don't need to worry about, or too much about, killing everything, doing everything. Right, so when you try and operate the Magitek terminal, the curl of no ooh, excuse me. The curl of Nine Tails appears. He is a little mini Ochu mob, and he's got a fairly nasty poison effect, but is generally not too bad. As long as your healer, whatever they are, is on the wall, you should be fine. This boss's only real attacks are to do the AoE poison. Then we can use the Magitek terminal. We need 4 photocells, which we've got. That will drop this barrier and it will allow us to move into the second area. I don't think that's better. Change that in a second. Now, in the second in this second stretch of the dungeon, I can't remember which way to go from here, it's the straight ahead, isn't it? Enemies will generate, it'll drop some more photocells. We still need 4 for the next section, which works exactly the same way as the first one. Ideally, you want the dungeon to be finished within roughly about 20-25 minutes. That shows that you've been making good time. Since the average food buff lasts for 30, you've got a pretty good estimate of how things are going. I've got a lot of poison on me. It can be quite tricky, actually, for the healer, whoever you've got, to keep up with cleansing. There's another photo cell. Ooh, that was us levelling up. Sweet. You might have noticed that one thing I'm doing when I grab a new mob is straight away hit it with a Rage of Hallowney. Whilst it is referred to as the aggro combo, because it is, you know, a chain of attacks that each generate aggro, you'll notice that the combo isn't what gives the increased enmity. You get the increased enmity regardless. So I tend to hit them with that, mostly because I like the sound of it. Another photo cell. So if you hit them with an aggro attack, an enmity attack, that I always get stuck on that, then it sets you up nicely. Those guys through their wall. Have to deal with the sticky web. Right, here's the next room. Yeah, that enmity trick is really useful for if ads arrive in a fight, something like that. When you get a higher level, there are other better ways of doing it, like for example Spirits Within. The more damage an attack does, obviously the more threat it's going to generate, just like the more healing a spell does, the more threat it's going to generate. It's all based on those numbers. I do think that these mites are some of the coolest looking enemies in the game. Right, now you'll notice that we've only got 3 photo cells. So what we actually need to do is take a left here, and there'll be a photo cell just around the corner. But we'll have to fight a couple of mobs to get it. And now we can go back. Right, now this boss at first glance appears identical. But this time, he's not alone. At, is it 50% or something like that? He will summon some friends, and his friends are annoying because his friends cast a rather nasty AoE slow. Now what you actually want to be doing here is ignoring its friends entirely. Just focus on the boss. You can see how slowly my there is zero need whatsoever to kill those ads. And now we get my least favourite section of the dungeon, with this annoying sound effect. The tunnel itself's fine, it's just the sound effect. For entertainment's sake, earlier I was looking into voice changing software. I figured that if I was going to do this this series by doing the voices for all the characters, that might be an idea for me to look into an easier way of doing that. But it turns out that it's surprisingly awkward to get OBS working with a lot of voice changing software, and I got to the I can't be bothered stage. Don't know what that says about me. Well, I do, to be honest. And it's nothing good. Demajen is lazy. I've always thought this sword looks really daft. I know it's kind of a traditional Aztec style weapon. Though I'm still not entirely sure why we've got a traditional Aztec style weapon in Final Fantasy where there's nothing really else. Kind of Aztec-y culture. But to me it just looks like you're hitting things with a paddle. Interestingly enough, I'd actually forgotten what the point of this this dungeon was until I was revisiting it for quests. Completely forgotten the entire storyline about the Sylph Elder and all of that. So this has been entertaining to me in a certain way. Because it has reminded me of things that I have long forgotten. Right, that's the first half of the annoying tunnels done. There is sadly a second half. Bit of a weird pull, this. Because these things spawn as soon as you go through the archway. Ah, I've lost my mouse cursor. There it is. Sometimes with all the flashy effects going off, you lose sight of something. And this actually isn't even with all the flashy effects on. This is just my flashy effects. See if I put that on just for the lulz. Basically because I haven't seen this for ages. Let's take a look at other people's battle effects. So this is the final boss chamber. We've got a bit of cutscene here. Can't remember what happens. I think the Elder's trapped up on the ceiling or something like that. Oh, we get an Ascian.
Darkness.
Elko Hitra Bublo Hans.
So thanks to the echo we can understand him, even though he's not speaking common or whatever it's called. In fact, though the echo helps us understand intent.
To speak in my guest crude tongue, we meet at last. I am Lahabrea of the Ascians, servant to the one true God. Yours is a most fantastical tale, truly absorbing. It is a tale to tell Eorzea's children before bedtime, and it will soon be dark, bringer of light.
The dark minions.
All that stands between this world and darkness is an irksome anomaly in the ether. The Echo. Yes, yours is a most fascinating tale. Alas, like all good tales, it must needs come to an end. But fear not.
Here, feel the presence of evil.
For the end of your tale is but the beginning of another. The tale of the crystal's demise.
Ching. Square did learn, as I said after the Ffxiv fight, about these really long kind of cutscenes before the make sure everybody's ready. Right, Graphius is an easy enough mob, boss mob. He's really cool looking though, I love his eyes. You keep on wailing on him for a bit. He will, at some point, summon some ads. A lot of people will spend time destroying all the pods around the outside, including me earlier on in the game, but there's not actually any real need to do so. It's just lost DPS time. Killing these ads is pretty useful, especially if you are... We're weirdly undergeared. Ooh, and also I need to go and repair my gear. Yeah, we've got to the stage in the story that we do need to actually start spending a little time getting gear sorted. Right, halfway through the fight, his tail will glow. You want to be killing the tail. And then you can just focus on the boss. If you've got a black mage, they can sleep the ads, which is nice. But again, spending time killing the ads now when you could just be killing the boss is time wasted. But there we go. Nice and straightforward, and we're getting achievements. The Elm Lord's Tusk. Yay! Thanks everyone. Right, what is the loot? It's the mortar weapon. Commend the healer. And I think there's another cutscene after this. Let's just answer this text message. Yes, we find out where the... Ooh, leaving a good impression. Right, we should have a cutscene with the... There he is. Finally, fresh air. Well, maybe not so fresh, but better than before. Ah, the sinister one is gone. This one can leave this awful place. Did walking one vanquish the many-legged one? This one is grateful to walking one. Nod. This one is called Ffxiv, eldest of these ones of little solace. And echo time. Stop. Echo time. So now we see a little bit of him running away. Alpha Squad reporting, sir. Nothing of note at Lark's call, sir. Understood. Return to Area 12. Damn it all, where is that accursed icon hiding? So they're looking for Ramu. No sign of our wizened friend. I'm afraid not, my lord. Shall I order that the search perimeter be expanded? Absolutely not. We risk alerting the Guadanis to our presence. His Excellency bid us to avoid unnecessary confrontation. Loath though I am to admit it, I have found no evidence to suggest that Ramu will be gracing the mortal realm in the near future. Not till patch 2.5 or whatever it is, 2.3. I ask you, what good is a god who does not grant one's wishes? Were I a sylph, I should strongly consider finding myself another idol. Which reminds me, what of the sylphs we captured? A handful of them seemed to be in reasonably good health when last I looked. Apologies, my lord. I feel we may have been overzealous in our efforts to compel them to summon their icon. Really, Centurion? Were you not aware that vegetables bruise easily? 'Tis well that I did not entrust you with the important task of making my dinner. Well, mayhap it was a kindness. Better dead in truth than dead to one's own god, I suppose, if you believe in such things. Dawn is upon us. Make ready to withdraw. Useless. We are so close to completion. I can fair taste it, but at this rate... No, I must be patient. Our efforts will bear fruit in due time. What was it you always said? Yes. Though it mean bringing down the very heavens, who shall challenge the limits of possibility, if not we? In that alone you were right, Garland. But your star is long fallen, while mine doth begin to rise. And it shall burn so bright that Lord Van Baelsar's ultimate weapon will seem a mere candle beside it. Ah ha 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 ha, evil laugh. Nero's an interesting character. He's a little bit weird, he's a little bit nuts. Those walking ones did for Noxia, this one is certain of it. This one fears that other taken ones also suffered the same fate. This walking one is convinced. Walking ones have black hearts, seek only to harm these ones. Walking ones are not to be trusted. Now, Noaxia, do not pass judgment too hastily. Not all walking ones are alike. There are evil ones among the walking ones, there are good ones also. Does walking one feel unwell? This one would know. What brings walking one to this place? Her hair is kind of hypnotic, if you watch it. Came to this one's rescue at Noaxia's bidding. Then this one owes walking one a debt of gratitude. Walking one has questions about Lord Ramu. Then this one will provide answers. And a dance. But first, let these ones quit this lightless place. This one will return to Little Solace. When walking one is ready, please come and see this one. These ones may speak properly then. They've got really weird legs. Then it is settled. Let this one accompany walking one outside. Not entirely sure how we're going to get back up there. But there we go. So first things first, we need to go to see Buscaron. These aren't going to aggro us anymore. Because we're now level 33. In fact, we're a reasonable chunk of the way through 33, which is nice. Ah, you're back! Tell me they're still filled as well. Oh, thank the gods for that. I don't rightly know what to make of the rest of your tale, but I'm full glad Ffxiv didn't come to any harm. Oh, well, there I go. Tempting fate. Run over to Little Solace and secure us peace with the Sylphs before else happens, eh? Rest assured I'll send word to our friends of Charlene and the Twin Adder both. You've done Gridania a great service this day, lass, and earned yourself a place of honour here at the Druthers in doing so. Be sure and come by whenever you feel like a drop of that firewater. Kind of ironically, we still have to talk to him again. I just want to check. Yeah, gear's too low level. So, friend, there's something I'd like to ask you to see delivered to the Sylphs a Little Solace. This Azima Rose Oil. It's a gift to celebrate the safe return of the tribe's elder, and a token of Gridania's desire to unite. The wood's not what it once was. The calamity changed the elementals, weakened them. Until their strengths return, we must lend them ours to keep the wood safe, but ours alone will not be enough. We must have the strength of the Sylphs as well. Only by working together and fighting together will we survive together, and only the 12s would with us, and the 12s with us. The gift I ask you to bear is a symbol of the hope that both Gridanian and Sylph alike will live to see the light beyond this darkness. So, back we go to the Hawthorn Hut. I think we're now of a level where we can head down to Camp Tranquil and get some gear. If we need it. Alexia. A gift from Walking One Buscone? A gift for these ones? Such a lovely scent. This one has never smelled anything like this before. Walking One Buscone and Adventuring One are very kind. Know that this one is deeply grateful. Many Walking Ones are scary. Many Walking Ones utter many lies and much deception. But this one is moved. Let all these ones be friends forever. Where is my list of quests? Believe in yourself. See what they've done there? We are about a third of the way through this stretch. Right, Camuxio wants you to discuss peace with Ffxiv. This one has been expecting Walking One. This one fetches Elder One. This one is pleased to see Walking One again. Welcome to the home of these ones. Uh-oh, now I need to do more voices. Ah, there you are, Demajen. We have just been hearing tell of your deeds of daring do. Well done. Ah, the Walking Ones who aided Noraxia. This one is grateful. A pleasure to have been of service. If you don't mind me asking, how did your misadventure come about? This one does not mind. The misadventures, as Walking One calls them, of this one began when Imperial Ones entered the wood. Fearing trouble, these ones decided to watch Imperial Ones closely. But these ones watched too closely, and Imperial ones noticed and tried to catch these ones. Having nowhere else to hide, this one fled into Totorak. Would that this one had not. In Totorak, a sinister one robed in black tried to feed this one to a many-legged one. A sinister one robed in black? Why do I have the feeling I should be more worried about that than I am? Elder Ffxiv, we come to you as emissaries of the nation of Gridania. This missive bears the words of the Elder Seedseer. This one sees. So walking ones of Gridania are fearful of Lord Ramu. Plainly put, yes. Your people summoned the Lord of Levin but once, yet that single occurrence occasioned great alarm. But it's not as if the Gridanians dislike you or anything. Actually, it's just the opposite. They think of you as friends, and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. That's why the Elder Seedseer wrote to you. This one well knows and respects Horned One Kani Senna. Be assured, like walking ones of Gridania, these ones have no desire for conflict. These ones resorted to summoning Lord Ramu to protect the wood from Imperial ones. This one counselled against doing so, but was not heeded. Against this one's wishes, Lord Ramu was summoned, and all those ones who took part became touched ones. These ones want so desperately to turn touched ones back to normal ones, but did not know how, and still do not know. Touched ones, meanwhile, wanted to turn these ones into touched ones, and did know how, so this one fled to Little Solace with all these ones who did not wish to be bound to Lord Ramu. But walking ones of Gridania need not fear touched ones or Lord Ramu, and like other primal ones, Lord Ramu is not callous and cruel. So long as walking ones do not trespass on these ones' ancestral homeland where touched ones reside, walking ones will not suffer thunderous judgment. But this one has spoken enough of touched ones. This one would speak instead of these ones. As this one said, these ones desire peace with walking ones of Gridania, and so these ones ask for a chance to set things right. By way of an addendum, mortals who are tempered come to take on the qualities embodied by the primal in question. In the case of the Sylphs, Ramu's influence has made them fiercely protective of their homeland. That explains why they're so hostile towards trespassers, but what about the abductions? A fine question, Ida. The abductions are, I believe, an expression of the Tempered Sylph's desire for reconciliation, another quality traditionally associated with Ramu. In the crudest manner imaginable, they seek to bring their fellows back into the fold, a timely reminder that the challenges posed by each primal are unique. Elder Ffxiv, we thank you for making your will known to us. The people of Gridania will rest easier in the knowledge that they and the Sylphs are united in their desire for peace. Oh, that grass. Wishing to cooperate, this one has written down the feelings of these ones. Please see that these feelings are conveyed to Horned One Kani Senna. And with that, I believe we can lay the matter of Ramu to rest, at least for another few patches. Sylph's Elder's very reasonable, I must say. You could learn a lot from him. Was that a jibe? If so, I feel it's only fair to observe that one of us wouldn't recognise reason if it punched her on the nose. Did I say fair? I meant reasonable. Comedy. Anyway, we're going to head back to the Waking Sands and tell Minfilia all about it. Fear not, we will be sure to mention the instrumental part you played in all of this, and while we see to that, we'd appreciate if you would deliver Ffxiv's missive to the Adder's Nest. Elder Ffxiv, we humbly thank you for your time. It has been an honour. honour is this one's. Together, let the walking ones of Gridania and these ones find a way to live in peace. That swaying hair. Please wait, walking one Demajen. This one has yet to give walking one a token of this one's appreciation. When these ones summoned Lord Ramu, these ones were gifted this crystal. This one would now bestow the crystal upon walking one as a symbol of these one's trust. Dee 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 dee. And stock footage. This is our third one, isn't it? Water, fire, lightning? Yeah. So you can see where this is going. We're gathering lights to fight the darkness. This one was not mistaken about walking one. Walking one is destined to walk a fate far crueler than this one can imagine. A brilliant light from within, walking one enveloped the crystal this one saw. Mark this one well. That crystal will one day be of use to walking one. Walking one must keep that crystal safe at all times. Before walking one returns to Gridania, this one would ask walking one to watch touched ones. So long as touched ones are not troubled, touched ones will not make trouble. If walking one witnesses touched ones making no trouble, mayhap walking one can testify to walking one's Gridania that these ones mean no harm. These one's homeland is fraught with danger. This one marks down safe places to look out for touched ones. Right. Yes, so we'll go do this. Ramu is indeed different to all of the other primals in the sense that, well, I say all the other primals up to the end of Heavensward, because he is reasonable and he is he's intelligent as opposed to Ifrit and Garuda especially, who's a whole witch. Which isn't to say that the other primals aren't sentient and intelligent, but Ramu is the very much the elder, kind of thoughtful individual. These are the little touched ones who've obviously gone purple because lightning is purple. There are tempered sylphs in the distance. You do not sense that they pose a danger if left alone. They will attack you if you enter their domain, but they won't otherwise attack. Back to Gridania. Yeah, this definitely puts you down in different locations. You've got a shiny sword. Ah, if it isn't Demajen, I went to the meeting with the sylphs. A missive from the sylph elder himself. Yes, it is male. It may look like a little old lady, but he is a bloke, if I may. Sir, the sylphs have no desire for conflict, nor do they intend to summon Ramu. And so long as we leave the tempered ones be, we need not fear any aggression on their parts. The elder Caesar will be overjoyed to hear that the sylphs have welcomed our overtures, and in the knowledge that they bear us no ill will, we may channel our resources toward tackling the more conspicuous threats to our security. You have done this nation a great service, my friend. On behalf of all Gudanians, I give you my thanks. So we're still roughly 10 levels ahead. Commander Hulua has more to say. In his tertius French accent. The Sylphic folk have long been friends to Gridania. The mere thought of being at war with them pained the Elder Seed Seer to no end. But owing to your efforts, she will be able to rest easier. Being the benevolent soul that she is, my lady will surely try to find a way to reverse the tempering process. Once again, I thank you. Had the signs of the Seventh Dawn not offered to mediate between our peoples, suspicion and doubt might well have led us into needless conflict. Pray, pass on my regards to Lady Minfilia. Speaking of... Hello? Hello, Demajen? Can you hear me? It is I, Minfilia. Ida and Papalima returned a little while ago, and they wasted no time in regaling me with the tale of your exploits. Thanks in large part to you, the name of one primal may be struck from our list of enemies for the moment, and the Gudanians may turn their attention to more pressing matters. Well done. Yet the end of this tale is but the start of another. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. I would apprise you of the present situation in person. So we have these long-range communication devices, but you need to travel halfway across the world to come and speak to me in person so that I can fill you in. How many seals have we got? 156. Right. What grand company did we join? It was the pirates, wasn't it? Yes. Just very quickly, I want to go and check something. There's a quest coming up called This Is So Ridiculous. Sigh. Vicky's got a quest for us. I think that's the one that opens the Wolf's Den. Right, what I wanted to check... Oh wow, those are a lot more expensive than I thought. Yes, you'll notice that you can get armour and stuff. But we need to be of a much higher rank than we actually are. Yeah, so we need 2,000 seals to get a rank up. And we can't do that yet. So what I might do off stream, because it would be very boring to watch, I might switch to another class, possibly a DPS class or something like that, and go and do some fights. I don't want to do it on the Paladin, because again we'll get so far ahead of the curve if we do that. Where's the armsmender? There he is. But yeah, it is a useful thing to do to rank up your Grand Company. Right, while we are in Limsa, the Arcanist Guild. Ooh. Can skip the cutscene. And that will put us in Vesper Bay. Ooh, Nedrick. Nedrick has a tantalising bit of information to share with an adventurer. Hail, adventurer! You wear the expression of one who seeks new battlegrounds to hone your burgeoning skills. Don't ask how Nedrick knows, he simply knows. Now, tell me, are you perchance familiar with the sunken temple of Khan? I nod, hold it against you if you're not. The ruins only surface when the calamity split the ground asunder after all. Any road. It's a popular destination these days for adventurers looking for new frontiers to explore. If you're keen to join them, why not make the journey to southern Thanalan and visit the temple for yourself? What with the many dangers that lurk within, the immortal flames are keeping close watch over the place, but a Lalafell by the name of Bibimu should be able to offer you passage. Tattoo. Well, if it isn't my favourite adventurer, welcome back, Demajen. Lady Minfilia awaits you within the solar. Please enter at your leisure. You'll notice that there are quite a lot of unnecessarily kind of busy little steps in a lot of these quests. This is one of the things that they did get a lot better at doing as they went into the next expansion. I'm given to understand that the matter of Ramu has finally been resolved. I fear resolved bespeaks a permanence we cannot rightly claim, yet I'm well satisfied that the Lord of Levin will not trouble us in the foreseeable future. Your satisfaction is assurance enough for me. How fares the investigation? Well enough. Thancred is sparing no effort. Oh, darn. I see. I've been meaning to ask, but is Alize quite well? I feel as if I've scarcely seen her in recent days. Oh, you haven't, and nor have I, alas. Alize has chosen to walk her own path, stubborn girl, but you may be sure that our destination remains the same. And on that note, I take my leave of you. I trust the Baldician report will serve you well. I take it we can proceed as discussed. Why do you ask? You scarce need my permission to act. I dislike Alfino. Can you tell? It is good to see you again, Demajen. With your slightly awkward walk. I've been looking forward to congratulating you on a triumph in the Twelmsford. Owing to your efforts, conflict has been averted. Truly, you've done the Signs proud. With that, we can strike remove from the list. So, who's next? The Sahagin and Leviathan? The Lord of the Hall has not answered his minion's call of late, nor is he expected to do so in the near future. While the Sahagin remain as aggressive as ever, they lack the quantity of crystals required to call forth their god. As with the Sylphs, we can leave them to their own devices, for a time at least. For a time bears repeating. We can ill afford to fall complacent. It is as Eustolas says. Unless we know the minds of the beast tribes, we cannot predict with any certainty when next a primal will return to plague the land. Or when next. This being the case, we must proceed with as much haste as prudence allows. Any word on Titan? The maelstrom keeps the kobolds under constant observation. We shall hear from them ere long, you may depend on it. Indeed. So then, of all the known primals that have been active in recent times, we are left with Gridania. Garuda, who is the primal of the Ixal who lived near Gridania. Yes, that's what I meant. So many marms to cover. Would that there were a more efficient way to conduct our surveys. Were he still with us, we should not long have wanted for a more practicable solution. She's not wrong there. Where in the world are you, Chief? But one sure step at a time. Henceforth, the Order of the Twin Adder will handle all matters pertaining to the Sylphs under the sage guidance of the Seed Seers. I bid you all enjoy a moment's respite, even. You've earned it. Except us. Is there something else, Demajen? Beg pardon? A man named La Habrea sporting a red mask and robed in black. 12 preserve. Prior to the calamity, the Ascians took great pains to remain hidden. Why would they choose to cast off their veil of secrecy now? Gods, this bodes ill. We must take advantage of the present lull in primal hostilities and investigate this La Habrea. Learn all we can of him and his designs. I dread to think... Tataroo! It's a floating lettuce. No. A sylph? In Thanalan? Hi. At long last, this one finds walking one Demajen. This one is most dependable of these ones. Is sent by Elder One Ffxiv to help walking ones. This one is called Noraxia. This one comes as a friend. Let these ones be friends. Hi. Pleasure to meet you, Noraxia. Ah, comedy. Right. Do 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 do. Yes, Tattoo is as ready to express her fright as she is to express everything else. Not all of us are forged of the same steel as you, I'm afraid. But it takes all kinds to make a family, and it pleases me to no end to see ours continue to grow. One by one, the people of Eorzea are beginning to unite, Demajen, drawn to the hope that shines within you. Yet a darkness threatens to engulf this light. Never have I doubted the Ascians' presence, but that they have grown so brazen as to carry out their work in plain sight fills me with a sense of deep foreboding. Okay, so that is the end of that act of the story. And we're on to what actually is the next bit? Ah, right, the next bit takes us down to Southern Thanalan to meet a character who becomes quite important actually in Stormblood. But of course, if you did this section of the story like 3-4 years ago when it first came out, chances are you'll have forgotten quite a lot of the interactions with this particular character by the time you get to Stormblood. Right, let's see how this goes. Minfilia would have you investigate the mysterious La Habrea. I'm afraid there's no rest for the weary, Demajen. We must delve further into the motivations of the masked man, the Ascian known as La Habrea. This is an ideal moment to do so, while our hands are not bound dealing with another primal. At present, we know little and less about the Ascians, only that destruction follows in their wake. I should not be surprised if these beings are behind the chaos that racks the realm. If my fears prove to be reality, we must do all in our power to stop them. Earlier, I sent word to each Grand Company to solicit cooperation. The Immortal Flames responded to the effect that they have information on a potential sighting. This is intelligence that we can ill afford to ignore. Go speak with Flame Commander Swift at the Hall of Flames in Uldar to inquire further. How you go about the investigation thereafter, I leave wholly to your discretion. But whatever you do, never forget that we are dealing with the unknown. You cannot take too many precautions. Be safe. Always with the gill sellers. Reports. Reports. Where am I going? The Masked Man. Ah, you come on behalf of the Scions, of course. Yes, as we've already relayed to Lady Minfilia, there has been a sighting of this rogue near about Eastern Thanalan. A brass blade stationed at Highbridge described him in detail when he alerted us to suspicious activity. I pointed to the witness, but I'm afraid he died not 2 days ago, slain by a marauding horde of the Ratmen. Fate can be a cruel mistress. But do not be too quick to despair. Being situated on a trade route, Highbridge sees its fair share of travellers. Folk are always coming and going, and some among them may well have caught a glimpse of your targets. You could do worse than to speak with a merchant named Hihibaru. The fellow's always starved for customers and he'd no doubt welcome your attention, whether or not you have the coin or the mind to spend it. Stuck. So I'm trying to look up actually how you pronounce the Ratmen. I think it's got to be quick run. In Inuit mythology, quick run is a large, bold dog spirit that terrifies the Inuit people. Interesting. Alright, Hihibaru. Welcome to Highbridge, adventurer. Whatever you seek, I, Hihibaru, can provide it. Probably. You're after a masked man? I'm not sure I have one of those in stock. Oh, you're after a masked man. Why didn't you say so sooner? Such an individual might have featured in one of the many rumours I've heard. If you linger a while, mayhap you'll learn a thing or two, eh? Oh man, that's such a big chunk of XP that you get for these. Hihibaru wants to help you find La Habrea. Maybe. When the Order Nalthal began excavating the ruins below, I'd hoped that Highbridge would turn into a bustling hub for pilgrims. But thanks to the nigh endless beastman raids, folk are too afraid to come within a mile of here. I sold everything I owned to get my venture started, and I'm loath to give up without making an earnest effort to stick it out. But if things keep going as they are, I'll be bankrupt before the month's through. Whining won't do me any good, though. No, for my business to survive, I need business. Speaking of which, maybe you'd like to browse my wares. Spend a bit of coin to help a struggling merchant. Oh, the masked man. Bah. They'll take your bloody masked man. I know what I said before, but vague rumours are all I've got. If you want to know about him, go and ask the other merchants. Does he actually sell anything? No, he doesn't. He says he's a merchant. Multiloquent. I don't know whether that's a word. I heard tell of the masked devil. Seems he's been appearing not only around Irish, but elsewhere around Thanaland too. Enough folk have reported seeing him to convince me he's more than a figment of the imagination, but little is known about him otherwise. Still a lot of side quests around here, which are all around the same level as the main story quest, but we really don't need extra XP. Absent-minded merchant. On the trail of the masked man? I've heard of him, but only in hushed tones and faint whispers. Said he wears a black hooded robe and looks right suspicious. And that's about all I can say, little though it is. So that's basically of no help whatsoever. There's a merchant down here. What's he sell? Anything useful? No. Not at all. Impassive merchant. Have I seen a masked man wearing a dark robe? No, I haven't. Nor do I wish to. Business is bad enough without shady characters lurking about. Folk have been giving Highbridge a wide berth because of all the Ratmen raids. None but the most devout of pilgrims are willing to come anywhere near here. So these cool ruins that I pointed out down below, which we looked at in the Gladiator quest, pilgrims are coming here, but they're being frightened off by the Ratmen, which is a bit of an issue. Judging by your expression, I take it didn't learn much of use. Look, I'm sorry for my rudeness earlier, it's just that things are tough for us merchants at the moment. The Kikrin raids are so constant, so organised, we're beginning to suspect that someone's orchestrating it all. I tend to put my own welfare first, like most of us do, but that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I promise to keep an eye out for your masked man. If I see or hear anything, you'll be the first to know. Ah, the investigative adventurer. Are you still on the trail of that masked man by any chance? I happen to remember something and I'd share it with you. You'll recall me telling you how the Kikrin have been raiding Highbridge now without cease. Well, there's a rumour that those filthy rats have been meeting with a great hulk of a man in secrets. Well, I can't say whether this is the mystery fellow you seek. I reckon it's as good a lead as any other. According to witnesses, the rendezvous takes place in the Kikrin lair located southeast of here. If you go there, perhaps you'll come across some kind of clue. Be careful though, the nasty buggers don't take kindly to visitors. So we get to go down here. Past all the furballs. And when I say down here, I don't actually mean down there. I mean down here. Ooh! What's this? Ooh! The Kraken! Release it. That's where we're heading to. Oh wow, leveled up again. What's that? 34! Ooh, and you'll notice the rested XP bar is no longer full. Right, an undecipherable letter. I'm impressed that they did not. This guy here starts a multi-part fate that has you going into that area there. There's also a multi-part one that attacks Highbridge, which is pretty cool actually. And you can get a minion from the merchant afterwards, if I remember correctly. Right, I think this is our last... Yes, this is our last level 24 quest. Sir, did you end up investigating the Kikrian lair? Certainly did. At least, undecipherable letter. At least you think it's a letter, as you cannot possibly decipher the writings. There's always the possibility that it could be something completely different. A letter you can't make heads or tails of? Let me see here. This is written in Amalgic. You're in luck. Just so happens I learned a spot of it back in the day so as to expand my potential clientele. Seems this contents pertained... Whoa! People trafficking? Gods be good if I'm reading this right. The Kikrian are trying to strike a deal with the Amalja. They mean to catch hapless souls at Highbridge and sell them off like sacks of potatoes. To think that different tribes of beastmen are colluding in their villainy. I must warn everyone to maintain vigilance. You've my thanks, adventurer. Had you not braved that Kikrian lair, no one here would have known what the creatures were plotting until they actually began picking us off one by one. On the other hand, I suppose this means you're no closer to finding your man. Well, unless it's an Amalja you're looking for. But, probably not, huh? 25. Oh, and I think... Oh, God. At least it's a pretty cut. No. See, it looks like a nice upgrade, but it occupies the head slot as well. I've finally got some honest to God's information on your masked man. This time it's the real thing, I swear. Why so confident? Because I saw him with my own two eyes. I was out for an evening stroll, minding my own business, when I noticed a column of smite rising from a cliff over at Thal's Respite. Curious, I took myself there to find a masked man, your masked man, I'm sure of it, standing by a fire. As if in answer, some Kikrian appeared soon after, and the group began talking at length. I'm afraid I was too far out of earshot to hear much of anything. After the group had dispersed, an idea came to me. If we're to use this smouldering coal to start a fire, you might be able to arrange a similar meeting. It'll be dangerous, I shouldn't doubt, but you've proven yourself more than a match for a pack of rats. So what do you think? That's some sound, reliable information, even if I do say so myself. Well worth all the loonging about you've been doing, wouldn't you say? Yeah, so there's a couple of quests in Eastern Thanalan, and then we get to go elsewhere. On over here. Ooh, Amalja Bruiser. He looks like a hunting log, but wait, he's not in the hunting log. Now he is in the Grand Company hunting log, so we are going to kill him. Because we could kind of do with those company seals. You'll notice we're not actually getting progression towards this fate. It's only the Lancers that count for this one, if I remember correctly. I'm assuming this is one of the very first ones that they programmed. Let's just double check. Yeah, so we've got 431 storm seals for that. Yeah, see, that counted. Might as well carry on while we're here. We'll get some seals for it. It's not likely we'll complete it in the minute and 50 seconds that we've got left, but we'll see. Not likely, but we should still get some stuff for. Ooh, actually, we did it. And now we can run away. Oh, and you'll notice that we've got a challenge log thing there. For Fates. Receive the highest rating possible in Fates in 5 different regions. I had no idea we'd been in 5 different regions and done that many Fates, to be honest, but apparently we have. Right. Where's that destination? There it is. There we go. So we need to use this smouldering coal. And shockingly, it's a member of the Corpse Brigade. You remember we've met the Corpse Brigade already. They provided the poison in the Gladiator quest. So we get the Ward of the Destroyer. The Destroyer being Rolga, the god of destruction and war, who is tied very closely to the nation of, or the Imperial controlled, is the word I'm after, the Imperial controlled nation of Alamigo. Of course, we've been to Little Alamigo quite recently. It's in southern Thanalan. We went and picked up the Aetherites not too long ago. It also happens to be quite close to the sunken temple of Kharn. Back so soon? Were you able to find any clues leading to your masked man? A paper ward inscribed with the prayer to the patron deity of Alamigo, Volga. This scroll, it bears a prayer to Volga, the destroyer. In case you're unfamiliar, Volga's the guardian deity of Alamigo, which is currently under guard. I've just said this. It's highly uncommon for folk of other nations to revere him. I'd wager my last guild that your assailant was Alamigan. It seems this masked man of yours is very well connected. I must confess, the merchant and me envy such a diverse network of contacts. That self-same merchant also senses danger ahead, and darkness besides. You certainly would rather not take things nice and slow here at Highbridge. See, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7. Oh god, I'm loath to do this. Well, that's a shame. It recommends that this is better. Mind you, that is a level 30 piece. So. Shame. Not shame. On to Little Alamigo. So this is the second of the level 25 quests. There's only 3 or 4. But one of them rewards a new sword. Yeah, a new sword that's lower level than the one we've got. Right. The Alamigan bandit you had a run-in with is somehow connected to your masked man of Mindustry? Yeah, mystery. So it stands to reason that if you want to pick up the trail again, you should head towards Little Alamigo over in southern Thanalan. Just so you know what to expect, the settlement's the favoured destination for those refugees who couldn't, well, adapt to life in Uldar. The hearts of the denizens are said to be as barren as the wasteland they live in, and for all intents and purposes it's a lawless place. Be prepared for a not so warm welcome. Now, I'm not certain how much a help she'll be, but it just so happens I have a daughter who has relocated to Little Alamigo. Her name's Sahira, and it shouldn't hurt to seek her out first. And while you have her attention, I'd be obliged if you could send my love. Not a day goes by that I don't think of her. I suppose this is it then. I'd hoped that you'd linger here for a while, kill some fiends, spend some coin, what have you, but something tells me you're destined for greater things. Wherever it is you end up, I wish you the best. Cheers, dude. Here we go then. Little Alamigo. It used to be that when you teleported, well, you couldn't teleport while you are mounted, and for some reason my muscle memory still hasn't adapted to that. So every now and again, yeah, after I teleport, I immediately go to press E, which is what I've bound to my mount button, which often ends up dismounting me because, of course, you can now teleport and return while mounted. And in fact, not just while mounted, but also when flying and mounted. This is the Ring of Ash. This is nothing to do with what I'm heading over here to do, but this is the home of the Amalja Beast tribe that you can actually gain reputation and experience with. You can tell they're goodies because they're wearing blue. But what we're actually doing is heading over. Can I get around here? Yes. We're heading over to the entrance to the sunken temple of Kharn, which is here. Ooh, jeez. Phew. I thought I'd clip through that then. Right, this is Bibimu. Welcome to the sunken temple of Khan, or what remains of it at least. Used by ancient Beladians even as a place to worship the sun goddess Azima. Much about the temple's history remains shrouded in mystery. While we've sent a research team into the depth, I regret to say that the investigation proceeds at a snail's pace. That is, when it proceeds at all. It would seem that the Beladians have rigged the temple with all manner of devious traps and snares to deter temple robbers, no doubt. We have recruited adventurers to assist in disarming the traps, but be forewarned, many who have entered here have yet to return. Should you wish to brave the depths, we would welcome your aid. So we can now enter the Sunken Temple, which is a pretty cool dungeon, to be honest, and also reasonably important, because some of the rank 2, I think it is, of the hunting log are in there. Speaking of the hunting log, actually, we really need to finish this off. It might be worth doing that now. Yeah. Ooh. Can't even go to the North Shroud. How do you get to the North Shroud? I've forgotten. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's go and do this, because we're getting behind in that, and as I've said on several occasions, I think previously, you want to be doing those at roughly the same level. It's kind of strange, actually, because I remember back in the day, when I was doing this for various jobs, obviously because there's a different hunting log for every job, I was constantly trying to kill things that were higher level than me in order to finish the hunting log off. But now we've massively over leveled it. Right, this takes us out into the North Shroud. And it's got us 21,000 XP for doing so. There's a couple of places of importance around here. There's Peace Garden up here, where you have to come for, I think it's the level 50 Zodiac weapon stuff. I'm not riding, am I? But more importantly, there is Full God Flute. Full God Flute over here. Also an awful lot of side quests. As you can see, this is a very low level area. At least this part is. As soon as you go over the bridge here, you'll find that there are level 35 guards around for a reason. Because there are actually level 25 mobs. Level 37 mobs. And if you go up there a little bit further, level 40 plus mobs. But yes, this is Full God Flute. You come here for a variety of reasons, including heading up to Kurthus, which is up there. And in fact, we'll go and unlock the Aetherites up there in a moment, I think. But first, I want to kill some bombs. You'll notice that the enemies here are reasonably around our level. They're not particularly difficult, especially with our chocobo to back us up. I need 4 balloons and I see 2. Oh, there's some more over there. Doo-doo. Balloon. Balloon is one of my favourite words in the English language. Don't ask me why. I like the sound of it. I'm strange. I know. Are there any more balloons down here? Yes, there are. Oh, also, some more golems. Yes, I think this was the lowest of the options that we've got. There we go. Right, let's go running up here, and then we need to go to eastern and outer Lenosha. But first, level 28 quests. Yes, this takes us up to Kurthus, which in version 1.0 looked a lot like this. There was a lot of brown and green rocks. But now, it's a tad different. It also features some of my favourite music. You'll see that this is very much around our level. Yes, Kurthus is completely snowbound. Up there is the Zemel Darkhold. Or Zemai, I think it's supposed to be pronounced, but I call it Zemel. Which is a pretty cool dungeon, in my opinion. I really like it. There's some interesting bosses in there and some interesting mechanics. This is the location with, I think, the longest name in the game, which means it's got this weird thing on the map. These might aggro us. Are they going to aggro us? Yeah, see, we don't need to sink down for these fates. But what we want to be doing is heading up through Skyfire Locks to Camp Dragonhead, because that will enable us to teleport back here a good chunk later. And it is a good chunk later, because as I say, we're still on the level 25 sections of the main story, and you won't come up here until well into the 30s. Just point out the really cute black sheep. I don't know why I accidentally dismounted then. But yes, this is Camp Dragonhead. There are a variety of reasons to come here. And you will spend a lot of time here in the run-up to the Heavensward expansion. And actually a reasonable amount of time here in the Heavensward expansion as well. Right. Ixali Wild Talents. Where are they? I think they're there. Let's go and find out how wrong I am. It might be that we're not quite high enough level. But I can't remember, so let's go find out. Yeah, I am reasonably certain actually I'm going the right way. Goo-boo. I am correct. Oh, and actually these are only level 30. That is better than I expected. He's just cast an invasion buff on himself. That's not going to help. We only actually needed to kill one. But we got 478 seals for that. Right. And we also wanted to go to Eastern and Outer Lenosha. Right. Right, it's a bit of a stretch. Would have been even a further stretch if I hadn't been and got that etherite at Bronze Lake. Ooh, crunch gummy fingers. Right. Oh, I love this area. It's... Look at that. I will moan quite a lot about the quality of texture work in FF14. If you look at the textures quite close up, they are a little bit rubbish. Have we got some examples? Yeah, see, the kind of jagged edges on that. It's really low res, but then you get views like that. Cobalt Pikmin. Darn. Let's go grab those while we're here. It is very, very easy to get distracted by things playing this. As you'll notice that there are some Mamulja mobs up here. They are also lizardmen. Alright, Kobold Pitman. Not what I'm after. Patrolman. Am I in the right place? I may not be in the right place. Upper Lenosha Oakwood. I'm not in the right place. I'm not in the right place at all. Oh well. We're level 35 and we're now in Outer Lenosha and we need to come here anyway. Because there are some Terox that need killing. But you'll also notice that the mobs here are higher level than us. So we're going to run the hell past them. Most of the mobs actually in this zone are around 35. 35, 36-ish. But there are some that are a little bit higher. So tune to this. Again, vistas, world design. There was none of this in version 1. Version 1 was this. It was grass and rocks and copy paste and grass and rocks and copy paste, and it was a bit rubbish. Right, where am I going? Out of Lanosha, the long climb. Ooh, O's is up. I can't remember where the Turks are. I have a feeling they're around here. Monkeys! Say no to monkeys. More monkeys. More monkeys. Ha. Hot tub. Must have gone past them at some point. Almost looked like they hadn't got any textures down there for a second. They must have gone the other way. But yes, this is the floating city of Nim. And it's got, again, some really, really cool bits and pieces. Sky stones, as they're called in FF12. I don't know whether they've got a proper name in this. But yeah, the etherite that makes things float. Condors, lightning sprites. Ah, here we go. Ah, can't see. Trees in the way. These mobs used to hit really hard. Bosom Buddies 2 done. That gives a good chunk of XP to our Chocobo. Not enough for him to level up at all. He needs 38,000 unfortunately, but I still need one more Turok. Where does this actually take us? Up Lanosha. Oh, that takes us down to Oakwood, which is handily where we need to go for something else. So let's do that. This is where those kobolds were. Need to kill 3 of these. That pacify effect, even if they're what it means is it prevents enemies from using abilities and weapon skills and stuff. If they're in the process of casting it, they will continue to cast it, but it won't go off at the end. which is cool. Okay, that's that sorted. Right, now what is giant thing? I think the quickest way to get to Costa del Sol from here, well, the absolute quickest way is to port back to Limster and then take the ferry, but I'm not doing that. I think the fastest way is probably travel to the other trading post, and head right from here. If you remember, we've just been here, but we went up north to fight the kobolds that weren't there because they were on the wrong side of the map, because my brain can only retain so much stuff. But yes, this will take us down into eastern Lenosha, which has got 2 Aetherites. Both of which will be worth getting. I strongly suspect that we will be able to get maybe 2 jobs to level 60 before we finish the 5.0 storyline. Right, this is a cool area. Up to the left here is the Agilis Wise, which has one of the Imperial Castrums. We're not going in there because they're level 49, but it's got really cool music. Some of my favourite music in the game, the Imperial Castrum music. Where we're actually going to go first of all is Wineport. Wineport has level 35 quests and leaves. It may also have level 35 armour for us. Because we could do with spending a little bit of cash on upgrades. Merchant and Mender. Right, what can we buy here? Right. Super important to keep your weapon up to date. That's one of those weird shields that can be used by black mages and thaumaturges. That's a relic of version 1. But that will give us a chunk of damage upgrade, which is always worthwhile. And also, we may now be able to get... That's technically an upgrade, but it does change tenacity, which is a tanking stat, for direct hit rate, which is a DPS stat. Oh, God. Right, we're going to get some heavy steel fingers, because those are proper tanking stuff. We are going to get a reinforced belt. I'm torn. screw it. How beautiful. How beautiful am I? Oh, God. Yeah. Did that merchant sell dies? Can I at least dye this? No. Gosh darn. Right, anyway, let's ignore this hideous armour for a moment. Head down to the ferry here. There's also a gatekeeper for a hut here. That is the guild for ninjas, which was introduced in 2.3, something like that. We can't go in there yet. Ferry skipper. Yes, we are going to Hidden Falls. Because we are here for a reason. Cost a beach party. A beach party? Yeah, we're going to head down here. You'll see that there's an option to go to the lower decks of Limsa there. That's where the ferry takes you. So you can get back to Limsa very easily. Which we're going to do because I want desperately to dye this gear so it looks a little bit more coordinated than that. Because oh god, oh god. Can't even. Do you have? No. Right, we actually came here this very roundabout way to kill some Apkulus, which are cool penguin-y style things. Green penguins. There's also some crabs around here. Let Kraken deal with one, and we shall deal with the other. Because he basically does almost as much damage as we do. Let me finish that one off. There we go. And that is what we meant to do, which was to unlock a new rank of the hunting log. And these will take us again into the higher level areas, 30 plus. I think the floating eyes are level 29, but we'll get to those once we take a trip to Hawk Manor. first. I know we've actually got some... Ooh, oh, it's completed adventure. She can go on another one. We've got no more ventures though. We've got... No, they're all pastels. I don't want pastels. Battlecraft, fieldcraft, Demajen. Right, before we do that, let's check actually what colours would look decent. Right. So black dye's alright. I think usually ink blue. Ink blue. Do we have ink blue dyes? Ink blue, yes. I only need 3 pots because we've only got 3 things to dye. Right, so ink blue. Ink blue. Ink blue. The armour still looks dumb, but at least we look vaguely cool. Sadly, we're stuck with this until level 40, arguably. Ugh. Ugh. So ugly. So ugly. There's actually a really cool set of armour from the level 32 dungeon, but we can't access that because it's story related. Tad infuriating. Right, how many seals do we have? Not enough. That's annoying. Alright. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the stream there. Actually, no. I won't leave the stream there. What I'm going to do is... because I may as well show you this because we've not technically done it before. I'm going to go and pick up Conjurer. And I'm going to use that to grind... Ooh, wow. That armor's cool looking. Yeah, anyway. Going to go and pick up Conjurer. And I'll show you how that works. Okay, so... as we've said previously, you need to go to the guild receptionist in whatever guild that you are looking for. Talk to the receptionist. Well met, adventurer. You are come to Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurers Guild. We conjurers harness the powers of earth, wind, water, that kind of stuff, that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries. Might you be such a soul, come to join the guild. Yes. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjuring is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature, that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic, such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those with the ability to manipulate ether, has existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjuring emerged from this shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing our forebears to make their homes beneath the earth in the great subterranean city of Gelmora, which of course we've been into. For the second dungeon, the name for which continues to escape me. Tamtara, that was it. But their desire to settle in the Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again they sought to curry the elementals' favour. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. Recognising this, the mages of Eld reasoned that their talent for etheric manipulation might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic entities. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. Their reward? The elementals' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through the hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. And for their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain great mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjuring. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjuring. If you have a mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Speak to me again when you are ready. So, we do that again. Is your mind made up? Are you ready to join the guild? Yes, we are. So we're going to be introduced to Brother Isumiyan, who presides over the Conjurers Guild even as he serves the nation as a hero. He's in the meditation area over there. So we need to go and speak to him. He will give us our first conjurer weapon. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. I am Brother Isumiyan, master of this guild. You'll have recognised him actually from some previous cutscenes. Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I'll impart to you the principles of conjuring. Pray attend me well. Conjuring is an arcane art that takes life from the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the solving of hurts and the granting of protection. Adventurers such as yourself often stand up on the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourselves in many situations where a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there is more to conjuring than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind and water, conjurers are also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, conjuring pales in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simple healers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realise their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. I hope that was too much to grasp upon a single hearing, but worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. You will come to understand that conjuring is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk a path, I must needs ask that you solemnly vow to embrace nature, to heed the will of the elementals and the Twelveswood alike. Can you make this vow? That helmet, man! Yes, we can. I knew your answer before your lips had parted, yet I am no less pleased to hear it. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would pose a suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and withered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Take up your cane, Demajen, and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. So we get 100 XP and a cane. And this will unlock Conjurer for us. And also, your main weapon determines your current class. So all we need to do to become a Conjurer is to equip a cane. Now, because of that, we get naked. You've changed to a new battle class. To lessen the burden of levelling multiple classes, an experience point bonus known as the army bonus is added with slaying enemies and participating in fates. This bonus grows larger the greater the discrepancy between your current level and the level of your highest class. Use this to your advantage when deciding when and how to raise secondary classes. So in other words, because we've got why have we got Bard? Let's get rid of that. There we go, put Conjurer on the bar there. So because we've got Paladin at 35, we will get bonuses to XP while we are levelling up Conjurer. We'll also get massive bonuses because of that, because of the buff. And we'd also get a bonus from the Helm of Light if I hadn't already put it on our retainer. So now we've got this equipped, we can talk to Isumiyan again. And the part of Conjurer becomes you, Demajen. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as a Conjurer of Stilglade Fen. Gotta go kill some squirrels, ladybugs and fungus. Kill 3 of each. Okay, so I'm not going to stream this, but I am going to go and do it and get some XP and level up a little bit. And then what I'll probably do actually is I'll head on to Little Alamigo as a Conjurer, because we won't be 10 levels too low, and I might do that multiple times. So each time we massively over level the quests, I'll go and get myself another class or something sorted. I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along. So, from Demajen the Hour Conjurer, for now, Storm Salute. That's not what I want. That's goodbye. That's goodbye. Bye! Toodle pip.